Hi YouTube, please give me a moment while I connect to Facebook. We'll be getting started momentarily. And I think we should be live on Facebook. Hi everybody, welcome to the Strategic Swing Trader. I am Sami Abusad, Director of Education at T3 Live. Hope you're doing well. We're gonna go over the market and then we'll go over my swing ideas for next week. Before we start, as always, a standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss is for educational purposes only. If you'd like to download a copy of my free ebook, link for that is in the description below. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. If you find benefit in today's video, we appreciate it if you would hit the like button. And then if you have any questions for us, email customer service info@t3live.com, info@t3live.com. All right, here we go. Let's turn to the charts. Let's get started. The market, I asked you in last week's video or the week before, I think it was last week's, whether you thought it was a short-term bottom or a long-term bottom. And I asked you to drop in a comment, and most of you did, and said every single person that dropped in a comment said short-term bottom. So I don't know. The market is really bullish, especially the SPY has been very, very bullish. I feel like we are, let me take out my annotation tool. We are in the area where if we're gonna pull back, then maybe that's what we ought to do. I mean, that we should start soon. This is the daily chart of the SPY. Let's see if we can draw a trend line. So maybe a little bit more. As you can see, that's the trend line from the start of 2022. So maybe a little bit more to get to that downward trend line. Now the trend line is not, it's a diagonal tool analysis. It's not the same as horizontal. Support exists directly to the left of current prices. So normally, that's just to help you with kind of predict where prices are headed to, but they're not really to locate support. Support is measured or analyzed by looking directly to the left, so horizontally rather than diagonally. So the Qs has also been bullish, nowhere near as bullish as the SPY and the IWM, but the Qs has been bullish. I don't know that we can draw a trend line on the Qs. We can try. Beginning of the year, yeah, we can, but that means the $300 on the Qs. That's another $20. No, $15, I guess, $15. So that's kind of the Qs trend line. We'll see. The bias should stay bullish, but I do feel, I did see the weakness on Friday. We had the gap down, so this could be a lower high if we gap down tomorrow, Monday, and we break under it. This would become the unconfirmed first lower high, potentially first lower high. So it's a little bit tricky. Overall, still bullish, but watch out for a break of 285.79, as that might be the first lower high in this newly established uptrend. So bias, but cautious, for sure cautious. Okay. All right. So that's the market. Here's the ideas that I got. I have A, which looks beautiful on the daily chart. This is what's known as a 1, 2, 3, 4 pattern. So you have the igniting bar, that's bar 1, and you have 2 resting bars, that's bars 2 and 3, and then bar 4 is the trigger bar. So if we take out the highs from I think it's 157.44, that would trigger the play. Stop under red bar's low, which is 154.35. So it's kind of a big stop, but if we look for a target, it has room to the all-time high. It really does, to 179. But I would say target 1 should be 159. Okay, on the A, like it a lot. ANET. Now ANET doesn't have a pattern in particular, but I do like it higher long term. Look at the weekly chart. Look at the monthly chart. So again, doesn't have a swing pattern, but it's more of a long-term play if it can break out over, it's not exactly a base, but this base that it established recently, and I would give it to here. So it's a very large stop and then a long-term play on the ANET. I think the ISRG is similar a little bit, maybe not as big of a stop, and it does have a base in this case. As you can see, you know, there is a bit of a base, but also possible long-term play. I like the ANET more on the longer term charts, the weekly and the monthly, and the ISRG for sure more on the daily chart. So stop under the base. Okay, on the ISRG I skipped a bunch here, so back to the list here in order, alphabetical order. I have apps, which is a daily buy setup, long over 1738, stop under 1555, target 120, target 225. Okay, on the apps, daily buy setup, daily buy setup. Daily buy setup means, you know, you have an uptrend and then you have a pullback towards that rising 20. So uptrend and then a pullback. So that's what we got over here too. So pullback and then base, kind of a base breakout over here. So over the base, stop under it. Let's check on the weekly and the monthly. Weekly is not great. Monthly still has plenty of room to go. So I like it. It's not too bad. I picked a few for tomorrow for the newsletter, but you have to be a subscriber to know which ones exactly I picked. But if you subscribe, you also get the numbers, the entry, the stop, the target, and the management also once the play triggers. Because most of these probably won't trigger, but you know, the ones that trigger, if it's something that I called, I'll be in. Okay, so HL is, I think, gold mining stock. I like gold stocks. FNV, pretty good. I was in it actually, called the 1, 2, 3 on it back here. Trailed out over here. Pretty nice play. Looks higher on the weekly chart. See the weekly 1, 2, 3. There's also AUY, I think. 1, 2, 3 on the weekly. Triggered last week, but it's not too late still. So there's a few gold stocks that look good. HL, FNV, AUY, those all look good to me. IMVT is just in a super trend. I mean, look at that stock. Super bullish. So I like it for a breakout over the base. Stop under. Okay, whatever the highest point is, if it takes it out, that would be the entry, 1350. Stop would be under 1260. Okay, 1260. About a 90-cent stop. And then target, if it's at all-time high, then, oh no, it's not at all-time high. Looks like it has resistance around 1950, 1940 on the IMVT. ISRG, I briefly talked about already, over the base, stop under it. PRPL has a daily buy setup. Again, uptrend and then a pullback towards the rising 20-period moving average, which is the blue line. That you see on the daily chart. So this one, entry for it would be over 458. Stop under 436. It's a 25-cent stop. It's 22. Add a penny above, a penny below, a penny above the number, right? The bar's high, and then a penny below. That's the bare minimum. So it's a 25-cent stop. Target 1 would be the prior high, and then target 2, I'm not sure. We'd have to analyze multiple time frames. Notice the gap over here, over a wide range red bar. So the message here was, the day before it reported, probably was it was gonna gap down, or it was really bearish, and then the next day it gapped up, trapping everybody that shorted it and stayed short, which is why it popped for a couple days, popped a huge amount, almost doubled from 350, not doubled, maybe it went up 70% to 550. So amazing in a couple days after that gap. Okay, PRQR has been on my list for a long time, but it never moves. And then so I kind of stopped. Look at the weekly chart. I stopped believing it was gonna move at all, and then all of a sudden broke out, and then, you know, it went up 30-40%, as you can see. Now has a 1, 2, 3 on the weekly chart, so long over $1.40, stop under $1.20, and then target has you know, a lot of room to $5. Now I don't think it's gonna go to $5, but it really doesn't have any resistance along the way. I don't think it does. I can take a look. I guess there's a little bit of resistance is gonna be at 168, so that would be kind of target 1, and then target 2, plenty of room. So it would just have to be managed on the back half. But again, over $1.40, stop under $1.22, target 168, target 2 to be determined. Redfin is, oops, I didn't mean to write over it, but basically Redfin is one of those stocks that dropped maybe 90%, maybe more from the all-time high. So here it is. Wow. I mean, look at the drop from the beginning of last year. $98, it dropped all the way to $3 and popped already on the gap up. It gapped over here and then now has been basing. So I like it over the base, stop under. This is not a very good base, but I think it still is worth a shot. So over 538, stop, I don't remember the number. The number would be 447. So 538, 535, 535, okay, should be the high, 533 by 547, and then target, I would say $10. Maybe target 1 right here around 850, and then target 2 around $10, or long-term trade if it ends up working. This is a low odds, high rewards trade, meaning it's unlikely to work, but if it works, it will make good money on the Redfin. SHC was one of the weakest stocks out there until it gapped a few days ago. Gapped up, ended the downtrend, and now has an hourly base breakout. So I like it over the base, which is 840. Stop under the base, which I don't know what the stop is, 777. Or if you want to give it more room, I would 765. So 840 by 765. Target 1 would be about 950. And then target 2, I would say the 20 MA on the weekly chart. As of right now, it's about $12 on the back half. On target 2. So has good R to R, good reward to risk, and it's got a nice hourly base. Of course, I don't like the topping tail, but it's rare to find a pattern that's absolutely perfect on every front, in every way, shape, or form. It's very rare. So you have to compromise usually. Shop is a daily buy setup. Long over 37.04. I'll give it to 37.10 because this is a bit wild. So you don't want to get triggered by the spread. Okay? And then stop under 34.30. I don't know if you remember the shop before it split. It was a $750 or $775 stock. But as you can see, it shows it's 176. It actually was over $700. Or over 800. I don't remember the exact price. And then they did a split, and I don't remember what the ratio was, 5-1 or something like this. And then the stock obviously dropped a lot. And so I like it for a bounce back up to here, to maybe about, eventually it's $74. Now, do I think it's gonna go back up to the all-time high anytime soon in the next year, 2 years, 3 years? Probably not. Why? Because a lot of stocks, this is the same exact thing that happened to Netflix, to a lot of other companies out there. They've been in a huge uptrend, in a long-term, incredibly strong uptrend, and then it finally broke. So this pullback that we see here in Shopify and Netflix, those are name brands that you are obviously familiar with. That break, we have not seen anything like it in the last 10 years or so. Okay, sometimes in the last 20 years. And so, the stock is not going to ignore that break and get back up there anytime soon, even if the bottom that we just put in the market proves to be the long-term bottom. I don't think these stocks are headed back up to the all-time high anytime soon. So you play them for the bounce, whatever it is. Sometimes, the bounce is huge. Like I said, on Shopify, I would be looking for 100% rally, okay, to the declining 20 on the monthly. But they're not going back up to the all-time high anytime soon, okay? The STSA is already an open position. We played it as an hourly base breakout in the newsletter over here, and then now has another base breakout. So I don't mind it at all to add to the position. Over the base, which is 81 cents, I think, stop under 66. Instead of under, I don't know what the original stop was. Under the lows, now it can be under the new base here on the hourly chart. So I like it. Has a lot of room to go. It's a penny stock. And then last but not least is the UA. It's bounced a bit off the lows, maybe up 40% or so, but a lot of the retail stocks have moved up a lot more. So this thing is just starting to go here, and it has a base on the daily chart. So I don't dislike it at all. I mean, I think it's pretty good. Over the base, stop under it. The base would have been better if it had based longer. So that the breakout would be off the 20 MA, that blue line. But so it's not perfect, but it's not bad either. So over the base, stop under it. Okay, long. Here's the shorts. I got GSM, which is a weekly. Notice the gap cleared support, so it looks good lower. And then the weekly chart has a 1, 2, 3. So I like it a lot. Under that weekly bars low, stop above it. That's 57. The support here is at 53, so I would play under 53. Stop over $5 or $4.96, and it looks like target one should be about 350. So it does have decent R to R on the GSM, and it has a lovely pattern on the weekly. Okay, PAGS. Weekly is not as good. Let's take a look at the daily. Daily looks good, and then here's the hourly also, which is a base breakdown. So short under the base, under Friday's low, stop over 1030. So under Friday's low, short, stop over 1030, and then I would trail it probably bar by bar on the daily chart, since it's already at support on the weekly chart. POWW is the base breakdown. I bet you that's also a weekly 1, 2, 3. It is. It's a weekly 1, 2, 3. So short under this bar's low, stop would be above it, under 205 by 220. STOK, STOK, is also 1, 2, 3 on the weekly chart. So short under 717, stop 806. And you have to kind of zoom out to see where the support is. This stock is at all-time low. So there is no support. So one would just have to manage it. TC, let's take a look. TC is not off the weekly. It's a daily base breakdown. It's more accurately an hourly base breakdown. So short under the base, stop above it. Okay, on the TC. TWST is not ready. It does not look ready because the 20 on the hourly is actually pointing up a little bit. It's a beautiful weekly 1, 2, 3. So the same as the GSM. Short under the red bar's low, which is 23.90. Stop over 26.20, and then probably, oh no, it's not at all-time low. So there is a target that we would have to consider, which is 1850. So about 1850 would be the target. So not a ton of reward to risk. I guess it's not bad. 23.90 to 1850, that's not bad at all. And last but not least is the UIS, which is sort of like a 1, 2, 3, 4 on the weekly chart. Let's go back to the daily base breakdown. So not too bad. And let's check the hourly, also hourly base breakdown. So not too bad. I use the hourly, the daily, the weekly, and the monthly in my analysis. Now in the video, you see me constantly going between daily, weekly, monthly, because I'm only projecting 2 charts at a time. I don't want to project 4 different time frames. Then it would make the charts way too small, and you wouldn't be able to follow along. So I'm projecting 2 charts, but I like to use 4. Okay. All right. So there are a few other symbols, by the way, in the description that I didn't go over, just in the interest of keeping this video under 15 minutes or so. But if you want to get the complete list, go to the description below. All right. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you have, again, I would appreciate it if you hit the like button. That helps support our channel. And if you have any questions, reach out by emailing customer service, info@t3live.com. I'm Sami Abasad with T3 Live. I wish you the best of luck with your trading next week, and happy holidays, everybody. Take care. Catch you on the next video.